Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back checking out another episode of Steins. Today we're checking out episode number 21, so this and 3 more episodes after it and we're finished with the series, which is absolutely insane. I honestly have no idea where we're going to go from here. We now have to kind of choose between Kurisu and Okab. I know I was shooting out a random theory in the previous episode that there might be another Okab from a different world line trying to preserve his world line, where Kurisu is the one who survives, and that this Okab is trying to ensure that Mayushi survives. I have nothing to back that up, nothing to prove it. I'm just kind of guessing what might happen. But yeah, I'm very excited to see where we go here. I think that this and the next episode might kind of really be important episodes at kind of spelling out where we're going to go as we head towards the finale. And yeah, I'm very excited to see, like I've said already, what happens. This has been an incredible ride, a phenomenal story and journey so far. So let us just dive right into this. If you guys do enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And share this with someone who enjoys Steins Gate reaction content. Also, I'm aware I'm wearing this t-shirt again. I promise it has been washed. I guess I just grabbed the thing that was at the top of my pile, and I just so happen to be wearing the same t-shirt I wore in the past several recordings. But yeah, here we go. Steins Gate episode 21. Let's go. The beta world line. Yep, that means Kurisu dies. Yep, it's an awful trade-off. What do we do? We're making a decision to save Kurisu, but that decision to save Kurisu will lead to Mayushi's death, because this world line has decided she will die. It really just makes me wonder who killed Makise Kurisu in the alpha world line, or the beta world line, whatever it is. I feel like that death has to be important. Whoever killed her was preventing the future from happening. Who was it? Did Suzuha travel to the past and kill her? Like, without crashing? I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure we saw that time machine in episode 1 and it hadn't crashed. What's that about? So someone landed there and killed her without crashing. Who though? And of course, Okabe Rintaro does not want either of his friends to die. He has grown extremely close with Kurisu, and he's always been extremely close with Mayushi. Paradox meltdown. What is the paradox we're going to be faced with here? Is it saving both? Is that the paradox? At least he's wearing white so the sun won't be as attracted to him. Oh shit. Yeah. You wanna go? Aw, invite him. Oh, the little lad on his head. Oh. She's so sweet. We did go with her, right? We're spending time with her. Interesting how that works. Are we positive? Oh shit, what's the robot anime? Okabe likes mecha? I mean, he did call Moeka Shining Fingers, so that makes sense. Has to be Gundam, right? Yeah, that's something you want to think about. Hopefully not. Go get some juice. Why is she not wearing cosplay? I thought she would have. If there is a way. It's our only hope. Prevent her death so we don't have to kill Kurisu. Don't look at the second shelf. Oh shit. What was that?
マユリが今日死ぬ聞いたわ前に だからクラッキングが必要なんでしょ。岡部が最初に送った D メールを消せば。
クラッキングはなしだ。クラッキングをしないでマユリを助ける方法を考える。
I hope there is a way.
どうして？
そうしなければならない事情が生まれた。
どういう事情よ。
今は説明できない。
We don't want you to die,
何かあるはず
Kurisu.
だ。別の方法が。
別の方法って？
頼む。
There has to be another way.
説明して。じゃないと方法も考えられない。協力もできない。隠してる場合じゃない、岡部。
We can't tell her. Same way we can't tell Mayushi. How do you tell someone that?
やっと帰ってくれた。ねえ、オカリンはラボ寄ってく？マユシーはご飯食べていこうかなって。
Let's get some food.
逃げるか。いや、逃げても結局。
オカリン？
How's it gonna happen this time?
今日はなんでついてきてくれたの？結局どこもあんまり見ないままだったし。
It was just to spend some time
マユ
with
シー
you.
ね、オカリンより詳しいことってほとんどないから。
That's all it was, to spend some time with you. That's the reason we're doing all of this.
今日はね、ありがとう。
Yeah.
オカリンとコミマ行くの初めてだから、マユシーは嬉しかったよ。
ルカ子がコスプレして恥ずかしがっているところを見てやろうかと思ったのだが来ていなくて残念だった。
そうだね、来てたら絶対人気出るのにな。
だろうな。
そしてルカ君はいろん
We're
な
putting
も
on
の
a
に
brave
画像をアップ
face
さ
again.
れまくってワールドワイドなスーパースタ
A
ーになるのです。
worldwide
それを
superstar.
見てマユシーは遠いところに行っちゃったなと思いを馳せるのです次はオカリンもコスプレしてくれるともっと嬉しいかも。
What would Okarin wear?
本当？
その代わりマユリもコスプレして参加するのだぞ。そうだな。だとしたらルカ子にクリスティーナも呼ぼう。そして二人がコスプレするようにマユリが説得する
We'll get everyone on board. What about Daru?
としてこの狂気のメッドサイエンティストフローイン教マがコミマに降臨しようではないか。
そうか、道は険しいね。
次
The next.
あれ？マユシーの海中止まっちゃってる。
やだ、もうやだ。ここまで来たのにどうしてまだ。
Like, yeah.
オカリン！
ここでじっとしていろ。
Are we gonna try and...
運命を。
We're going to try and be the one who dies instead?
俺がここで跳ねられれば、命を投げ出せば何かが変わるはずだ。何かが。
I mean, oh my gosh, he jumped in front and pushed us. We could have just stayed hidden there, no?
やっと役に立った。マユシーはオカリンの役に。
How many times must we watch this happen? Who was in the car anyway? Like, what was that? Oh, she's doing the hand thing.
ここからじゃあんまり星見えない。
All she needed to see was you. That was it.
こんなのあんまりだろ。
It isn't fair. You shouldn't have to choose. Right now, the only way to have them both alive is to keep jumping back to the point where they're both alive and just never let it happen. That's the only outcome I can think of right now.
岡部？岡部？
Damn, this is getting really tough. What do you do if you're Okabe Rintaro right now? This is really sad. That scene with Mayushi was hard. He finally thought he was going to be able to save her by being the one who died instead.
一人にさせてくれと言ったはずだ。
聞いたけど屋上に上がったまま何時間も物音一つ立てずにいたら心配する。いや、しないけどどうしてクラッキングをやめるの？
This sounds like the sort of music that would play in a visual novel.
タイーフフラグが立ってビビったんですね。わかります。
順法精神に目覚めたと言ってくれ。
らしくないわね。いつもの独善的な態度はどこへ行ったのよ。
So
狂気
true.
のマッドサイエンティスト。
独善的でなんかいられるか。おーいん京馬。そんなの全部妄想だ。設定だ。
Jeez.
気づかなかったのか。
Yeah, but That's not the point. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Everyone knows it's not real, but everyone likes that you do it. It helps in situations. It's part of your personality.
二人で考えてここまで来たんじゃない。
鈴葉やフェイリス、ルカ子、みんなの思いを犠牲にしてやっとたどり着いた。
Yeah.
それがこんな結末なのかよ。
That's tough.
どうして。
That's really tough. Oh shit! If we throw that phone away, it's over.
ねえ、岡部。
Wow, this is the scene where she's holding onto his back. It's been like several other characters up until now.
怖い夢でも見たんじゃないか。岡部の力になりたいの。
Like, if we tell Kurisu, we kind of have to tell Mayushi.
俺はマユリと中鉢博士の会見に出かけた。そこで俺は何者かに刺され倒れているマキセ・クリスを発見。電話レンジにつながっていたダルの携帯にメールを送った。1通目の D メール、ベータ世界線からアルファ世界線に移動することになった元凶。セールに捉えられたそのメールを消し、ベータ世界線に戻るということ。つまりその世界に戻るということ。
Yeah, like, is this whole series about like trying to return to the Beta World line, the one that we created to save Mayushi, but in doing so, Kurisu dies? Like, it's awful. Like, is this like a full circle sort of series where we're trying to get to that point where we were already at because we've already done everything to create that world line? Like, I don't know. Oh my god.
マユリか。
Yeah, Kurisu, that can't be easy to hear. What do you do from after this? Like, even her phone has cute little like heart buttons on it. That's not it. We've been too busy to spend time with you. That's the other way about Mayushi.
玄武とスザクと清流と白虎だ。
白虎。
そういうね、オカリンの話、とっても面白かったな。
Aren't those four like actually related to like Japanese mythology? I'm just going based off of Final Fantasy 14. Aww, of course.
すぐに会いに行くべきよ。私のことは今ここで話してても何も答えは出ない。だからあんたは今まで一人で悩んでた。そうでしょ。ここでただあんたに心配されても私のプライドが傷つくだけ。
Is Okabe trying, like, hoping that Kurisu will give him the okay to return to that world line? Is that what he wants right now? Like, I don't know. There's so little time left with these episodes. Like, what are we going to do?
最近怖い夢ばっかり見るんだ。夢の中でね、いつもマイシーはひどい目に遭うの。ピストルでパーンって撃たれたり、
She's dreaming all this?
電車にひかれたり。
Jeez. So it is affecting her.
すっごく怖くて痛くて。
Oh my god.
悲しくて。
So she's involved.
一生懸命声出すんだけど、出せなくて、いつもオカリンが助けに来てくれるの。
But you're
マイシー
dead.
はオカリンありがとうって言うんだけど、その声もオカリンには聞こえなくて、マユシーのこと抱きしめて、とっても悲しそうな顔をして、絶対泣かないんだけど、一生懸命我慢してるのがわかるの。
Jeez, how is she dreaming all this stuff?
最近ラボメンがすごく増えたんだ。クリスちゃんでしょ、
Yeah.
ルカ君にペリスちゃん、
Yeah.
それとスズさん。
Yeah.
最初は2人だけだったのにね。クリスちゃんなんかすっごい頭良くて、オカリンもたくさん話せて楽しそうで。
To someone who understands what he's saying.
最初にマユシーがラボに押しかけた頃のこと、オカリンはいないの。でね、お部屋の片付けしたりしてるうちにオカリンが来てね、おかえりって言うと、
Aww.
ただいまとは言わなくて、ご苦労。
Good work.
その後は毎日2時間ぐらいほとんどお話もしないで過ごしてた。嫌な沈黙とかじゃなくて、ただそこにいるって感じで。
Aww, spending time together, it's all that matters to
ゆっ
Mayushi.
くり優しい時間が流れてて、最近ね、オカリンとお話しする時間 ちょっと減っちゃった。前はオカリンの顔を見れば何考えてるか分かったんだけど。
Yeah, now he's just, yeah. He's a completely different person. What he's experienced.
もつらそうで、苦しそうで、いつも泣き出しそうで。
And you just want to help him?
それはマユシーのことなんだって分かって、オカリンの重荷にはなりたくないのにな。
That's what I've been saying. Like, if he talks to her about this, she might just be like, that's okay, so long as everyone can be happy and Kurisu can live, or just something. I don't know. I don't know what she would say, but it pains me.
どうしてここが分かったの？
人質がどこにいるのか、俺は常に把握しているのだ。
You're bound to him.
あまり無理しちゃダメだよ。
Stop forcing it.
お前に心配されるほど、この法院教魔はヤワではない。話せる時が来たら、すべてを話す。
Oh, but when will that time come?
でもその前に。
分かってる。ウーパのガチャガチャやっていくんだろ。
We're gonna get a metal Upa? Throw back to episode 1? Why is this very... Oh shit, she's going to the location. What's gonna happen? Ah, it's over! These episodes always end in such a, like, a way that it feels like something's about to happen. Oh, what a cruel way to end. As Kurisu is going to the location of her death. I wonder what's going to happen. I really don't know. And only 3 episodes left, which is crazy. And that was episode number 21 of Steins Gate. I feel like compared to some of the previous episodes, this one was a lot less intense, but it was also very sad for several reasons. But I do also think that this was very much an episode that had to happen for the future of the series, for the next handful of episodes that are to come. Okabe had to tell Kurisu about the Beta World line, and Mayushi and Okabe had to spend time together, and they had to come up, like, there had to be that interaction. And I understand that Okabe has told Kurisu about her fate, and that it might seem unfair that he won't tell Mayushi, so that Mayushi can decide what she wants to do with that information regarding this world line and her fate. But I kind of get why he's not telling Mayushi. Mayushi is very innocent, very uninvolved in all of this, and she's just always been a bright sunshine, like a bright star in this really dull and gloomy world at times. And so if he was to tell her, like, there's no telling what would happen to that star. That star might extinguish. That star might no longer be what it has been this entire time. And yeah, he obviously feels the need to protect Mayushi because of the history that the two of them have with one another. But at the same time, I think it's been pretty clear and obvious that Okabe Rintaro has probably got romantic feelings for Kurisu. So that has to really hurt to tell her about that, and that is why he's so conflicted. Obviously she's also a friend, so he's going to be conflicted regardless, but the fact that it's Kurisu, that's got to really sting him, and that's got to really make things so much harder. And it just goes to show how important and big of a moment this is, because all the way back, like a handful of episodes now, we saw Suzuha go back to the past. We saw Ferris return to having no father, and we saw Ruka return to being a boy. Okabe, not that he had no issues with undoing those pieces of happiness for those characters, but he's struggling so much more with this decision where he has to choose between the two people that he probably loves the most. He has to choose for one of them to die, and that's, I feel like if this was me playing a visual novel, I would get to this point and I would just, like, I don't know if I could finish the game. I would honestly be so torn that it would be very difficult for me to go beyond this point. I'm not trying to turn this into a conversation about me or about visual novels as a genre, but I'm personally someone who genuinely doesn't care for romance in any game or anything like that I am controlling a character for. If it's in a TV show or film, this medium right here, I like what they're doing with, you know, the whole romancy stuff, you know, like I'm fine with it. But if I'm controlling a character and I have to choose between several characters, I'm not a fan. I tend to like avoid romancy stuff. It's not for me. I don't like doing it. It just I don't know how to explain it or why that is. I just don't like that. So like I don't know if I would personally play a game or a visual novel like this one, because I imagine it's very romance heavy and very involved in all of that stuff. So me personally, I do think this is the perfect medium and perfect way for me to experience this series. Sorry, I took my headset off because I didn't really want to wear it, but because I know this is a visual novel, and because this anime series has an ending, my guess is that within that visual novel, I don't know how visual novels work, by the way, but my guess is that you can choose different paths and that will lead to a specific ending that you can receive. And so one of two options happened here within this anime series. One, they picked one of those endings as the ending for the series. They picked the ending that they thought suited best. Or two, there is a true ending. And that true ending is the one that wraps everything up in one. And my guess is, if there happens to be a true ending, granted, this is just me guessing. This is just complete guesswork based on the fact that I know this is based on a visual novel where you make decisions. My guess is that there is a true ending where everyone is saved. That's my hope anyway. And I just don't know how we're going to do that, because do we have to create a beta world line? Do we have to create a double beta world line where both of them survive? Like, once we get to that beta world line, are we going to be able to change things once again? And yeah, this is going back to the fact that I feel like I cannot recall exactly, and I'm pretty close to the end now, so at this point, like, you know, you guys don't have to tell me what was actually said because I'm going to reach it soon enough. But I can almost remember in episode 1, someone says to Okabe that they were talking to him like 5 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. I feel like it was Kurisu. It could have been Mayushi. I really don't know. But he was like, what? No, we didn't. So obviously there's another Okabe running around. And that's really strange, because we have only ever seen one Okabe in the world line. We've never seen two coexisting at the same time. So what does that mean? Does that mean he used the time machine? Does that mean we're going to see Okabe undo everything to the point where Suzuha is still there, and he's going to go and get the time machine and travel to the past? And that means that because he's used the time machine, that Okabe from that present is still there because he was, but now we've got the other Okabe from the time machine in the future running around there too. I don't know. And if he does use the time machine to go back, does that mean that he spends some time ensuring that, like he said in this episode, that people's happinesses are returned? That sounded wrong. Happinesses? People's happiness is returned, are returned to them. I don't know. So is he going to next episode undo the undoing that he did, where Ruka is no longer a boy, Ferris's father is no longer dead, and all of that stuff? Is he going to return all of that so that he can take a gambit to return to the past and try and undo that beta world line? No idea. Would be really interested though to see if that does happen and what happens because of that. I think that there's a lot of potential for the next few episodes, and honestly, I don't really have many ideas for what could happen, and I think that's honestly the most exciting thing to me. I love being surprised. I love not knowing what's coming. I think that it's going to be really, really cool to see just where the series goes, because I know it's going to surprise me, and I know it's going to be really cool. I really love that this episode finally showed Okabe and Mayushi like just spending time together again. It's been honestly upwards of 10 episodes at this point since we really saw them spend time like this together. It's really just sad to think that they used to spend every day together just doing whatever they wanted, just the two of them. And as more people have been introduced, like, yes, they do still get to spend a lot of time together, but because of the nature of what has been happening in this series with time travel and also like the danger regarding Mayushi's life, in order to save Mayushi, we have been pushing her away, and we have been pushing her so far away to the point that she has been saying she feels like we never spend time anymore. Okabe has been saying it feels like we never spend time anymore. It's just so clear that the two of them hate the fact that that is the case, but there's nothing else they can really do about it. That's kind of just the way things are. They have no choice. Well, they do have a choice, but Okabe is choosing to try to save her. So in order to try to save her, he has to spend less time. The last time they kind of spent together, I guess, was when they were all spending time together during the building or the fixing of the time machine for Suzuha. But yeah, so in spending time with Mayushi, we go to Komima with her, knowing that she will die today. But we decide that we're going to spend time with her anyway. I don't know if there's a real deeper reason as to why we went to Komima with her, but I'm glad that we did because we got to see Okabe spend time with Mayushi, and Mayushi got to have fun. We got to see Mayushi in her groove, doing what she enjoys best. And yeah, the mention of, a robot series that Okabe would enjoy, my only guess is Gundam, because, he did literally name Moek a shining finger, and that is a Gundam reference right there. Kurisu does call at a point, or we call Kurisu rather, and we're going to tell her, it seems like it feels like that's the way the scene's being set up. We're going to tell her because we've told her everything so far. We know we can trust her. She knows she can trust us. And it just feels right that we'll tell her. But it is so painful and hard for Okabe to tell someone that they're going to die if I make this decision. It obviously feels like telling someone that your life is in my hands, depending on what I decide, that's brutal, that's awful. And how do you ever decide something like that? How could you? And so he doesn't tell Kurisu in that moment, but he does tell her a little later on. But before all that, we do have to sadly watch Mayushi die once again. And it does look like Okabe has come up with some sort of plan to save her, and he decides that he is going to be the one to die instead. And I guess that would be harking back to my theory that one person has to die here. There's no guaranteeing who it has to be, but Moeka was always saying Mayushi died. It was Mayushi who died. And so that was kind of making me think one person has to die, but it doesn't necessarily have to be Mayushi. It just happens to have been Mayushi 900% of the time. I'm sorry for the background noise, by the way. Typical people decide to start cutting grass while I'm recording. It happens all the time. But yeah, he jumps in front of the car, saves Mayushi, but at the last minute, she seemingly comes out of nowhere, pushes us aside, and gets hit by the car instead. I am really sorry. They must be cutting the grass right outside because it's getting really loud. And I have the windows closed and everything, so yeah, there's like nothing I can do about this noise. I guess I'll just try my best to wrap this up because I'm sure this is very annoying to hear. She thanks Okabe for finally being useful, I guess, and it's just really heartbreaking because, yeah, she is always like... No, I don't think she's been useless, but she hasn't been exactly useful in the ways that someone like Kurisu has been, or Daru, or anything like that. She has been very useful as a human side for Okabe. She has been the person he needs, the person who brings him out of his shell, the person who makes him a person, and he needs that, and she is very important for that reason alone. So the fact that she thinks she has done nothing useful, that's bullshit. She just does not realize the things she has done for us. She is the brightest light in any room you'll ever walk into. And so then we get two really powerful scenes right after one another, and these two scenes take up the entire rest of the episode. The scene with Kurisu on the roof, where we tell her about her upcoming death, and the scene with Mayushi in front of the grave, where we hear her talk, thinking there's nobody listening. And the scene with Kurisu was very hard to watch because we know just how difficult this is for Okabe. This is a very difficult thing. Like, how can you choose? How can you make this decision? Two people that you really, really love. And I don't know, like, I feel like he has to, in his head, find a choice that saves both. Find a way to save both. I don't think he will ever be able to make a decision to save one over the other. And that's why we see him remain in this world line. Because if he goes to the other world line where Kurisu dies, there's very little he can do there. Whereas if he stays here, he can try and find a way to save both. He can just leap back and forth, back every time he needs to. And obviously, episode 1 happened so long ago that realistically, the only way he could time leap that far back isn't even a time leap. It is literally using the time machine. That's the only way he can go back that far to prevent the outcome of episode 1 happening. He goes to throw his phone off the roof and Kurisu stops him, and it's a really nice moment because that's the first time they've been that physically close with one another. I feel like she's literally like holding his back and his arm up, and they're very intimately close almost, very much in the same way that Ferris and Ruka were holding on to his back in previous episodes, but this time it's less sad and it's less that they just need a moment and that they feel safe with Okabe right now. This time it's Kurisu stepping up and preventing him from doing something really stupid, destroying his phone. Because if he destroys his phone, there's no more chance. Like, that's it. The present that we're in, that's it. That's all that's gonna happen. You can't change that. And so he tells Kurisu, and Kurisu is very surprised and shocked, but she doesn't show any real emotion other than shock. And I feel like that's because she's putting on a brave face for Okabe here. She is hoing kyomeing all over this shit. Like, she's not putting on like a big ho 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 sort of voice or face or anything like that. She's just being brave and she's being very present. I feel like she's very present in this moment. She's not thinking about anything else or anything. She's just hearing what he says and presenting ideas to him. The ideas being that he needs to go and see Mayushi. And yeah, it's really difficult because I feel so bad for Kurisu here to have to kind of like, not that she has to like baby Okabe, but she has to be the stronger person here after just hearing that she will die if they do all of this other stuff. Like, how can you hear that and be brave? How can you hear that and not break down or just like lose your shit or like be terrified? I'm sure she is. She just holds it together, and I'm commending her for that, because Okabe needed that. Okabe needed someone to be strong for him in that moment. And like I said during the episode, I wonder if he needed Kurisu almost in that moment to make a decision for him, because he cannot make that decision himself. And so we go off to Mayushi's grandmother's grave to listen in on the conversation she's having. And the conversation she's having, she has been having these dreams where she is dying over and over and over again in all the ways that Okabe has seen. And that's really interesting because it's very much like Ferris and Ruka, where they suddenly start to remember things. But Mayushi's doing it in her dreams. She's remembering during her dreams. It's almost like reading Steiner-esque. But yeah, I don't know how that works. How is she remembering these things? Obviously, because they're dreams, they don't seem real. But she says they feel very real. And that it's always Okabe who shows up to save her, but it's always too late. Well, in her dream, like, it doesn't seem like it's too late, but it is. She's talking to him, but he doesn't hear. And yeah, it's almost like telling us that Mayushi and Okabe need to talk, and Okabe needs to listen to Mayushi and hear what she has to say. And I really feel like they need to have that conversation about Mayushi's fate, because Mayushi might have different ideas or might have different opinions about everything. But then she does go on to say as well that they're spending so little time together now, and she can tell that he is really sad. She can tell that it's about her, but he won't tell her. And she just, more than anything, wants Okabe to be okay, wants to know what the problem is, and just wants to be able to help. She wants to help. She wants to be there for him. She's not even saying, I wish we could go back to when it was just the two of us. She's simply saying that she wants to be able to help him with what he's going through right now, but he won't let her in. And she says she doesn't want to be a burden to him. So that makes me think that she would have a different opinion on the whole situation with her fate. The scene basically ends there with Okabe showing up and being like, you don't need to worry about me, I'm good. That's kind of how that ends. You know, it's not really much crazier than that. I feel like there could have been more there, but there isn't really. Like, Mayushi does look a little sad that it seems like he's putting on an act again, because she just really wants to see Okabe right now, not Hoen Kyoma. And she wants to know that he's okay, not Hoen Kyoma. But then, yeah, the episode ends with Kurisu showing up to her place of death. And yeah, it's very ominous. Like, I don't know what's going to happen in the next episode, but yeah, it's going to be a crazy one, I'm sure. And I'm excited to see where we go as we head towards the huge finale of what will be Steins Gate. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'm sorry that this might be a little short. I was just very conscious of the sound, which is picked up again, ironically. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below letting me know if you could only choose between Mayushi or Kurisu. Who would you choose and why? That's going to do it for me. I hope that you're having a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.